Let me see if I'm understanding this correctly. 6 months ago, the Department of Justice told the American public that the Jeffrey Epstein case was essentially done. No more actionable evidence. No more names. No further accountability. Case closed. Now fast forward. After Donald Trump signs the Epstein Transparency Act into law, a law that requires disclosure, the DOJ suddenly says they need more time. Why? Because they've discovered about 1 million documents related to Epstein. 1 million. So here's the question no one seems to be answering. How does the Department of Justice miss 1 million documents? This isn't a filing cabinet in someone's basement. This isn't a mislabeled box in a storage room. This is the Department of Justice, an agency with investigators, archivists, digital databases, and full authority to examine this case. And we're supposed to believe that, 6 months ago, when they told us there was nothing left to release, they somehow didn't know 1 million documents existed. That's not a small oversight. That's not clerical error territory. That's either a catastrophic failure or a deliberate narrowing of what they chose to look at, and neither option inspires confidence. Because here's what changed. Not new evidence, not a new witness, not a new investigation. What changed was transparency became mandatory. Only after disclosure was legally required did these documents suddenly come into view. And this is where context matters. Jeffrey Epstein wasn't just a criminal. He was a criminal with access to wealth, power, institutions, and influential people. Historically, cases like this don't stay buried because there's nothing there. They stay buried because what's there is inconvenient. Transparency doesn't happen because institutions wake up one morning feeling honest. It happens because the law leaves them no alternative. Why weren't they considered before? Who decided they didn't matter? And how many other cases were declared closed using the same logic? Because when 1 million files suddenly appear, it raises a bigger issue than Epstein. It raises the question of how many truths remain hidden until someone forces the door open. I'm pointing out inconsistency. And when the timeline doesn't add up, the public has every right to ask why. Because we didn't know stops being an explanation when the number is 1 million. Like, share, and subscribe to try to keep up with the facts through the chaos.